Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Tuesday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel back. Yes, I'm back. Dennis Dick is here. Joel Elconin is here as well. He'll be back in just a second. There he is. We'll bring Joel on now. Joel, good morning. We got a lot to discuss today. We're going to talk RIDE, Lordstown Motors. Oi is all I can say about that. Oy vey is all you can say about
that. Mir.
Okay, that too. We're going to talk. I just had. Oh, here. Let's go to my list here. Sorry, guys. Early morning for me. We're going to talk Amazon. We got a couple earnings. We got a couple ratings. New guest today, Trevor Neal. He is the founder of RRG Research, technical analyst at the Beta Group, a long-time technical analyst, former floor trader over in the UK. We'll get some good floor stories from Trevor at 8:35. Don't forget to smash that like button. Drop us a like on YouTube. We appreciate that. Joel, if you can, bring up those charts for us. And I've been a little bit out of the market for the past couple of days, so just tell me, has Bitcoin stopped going down yet?
We'll talk about Bitcoin, okay, man. That thing has been on a wild ride, and it continues today. It moved $2,500 in 3 minutes yesterday when Mitch and I were on. But it's just got a stable investment you want to have, folks.
Oh yeah, that's a stable currency right there. That's the kind of currency you want, where they got to adjust the price of your coffee every 5 minutes. Because wait, I got to check the price of Bitcoin to adjust the price of my coffee.
S&P
ways to go before we replace the financial system.
14.5 handles higher at 08.25. Never saw that closing price of 93.75 and took out yesterday's high, but I don't have anything at 12.75 for you. Crude, big day yesterday, given just a tad back today, down 19 cents. Gold, I mean, I'm just going to say 18.80. It's always at 18.80. Silver was actually at 18.83.40. Silver, it's down 12 cents at 27.78. Bitcoin tried to kiss 40. That resistance is coming down, folks. But no, it's lower by $2,800 at 35,960. Ethereum, that's going down as well. Same percentage. That's down $232.50 at 2,422. They're not rallying here. Put it this way. They're not holding rallies, Triple D. What do you think?
I don't know. The thing was 1,700, just went to 2,400. So to say it's not rallying is not really the case. I mean, we're just all over the place. I would say, I can't say, we're not holding dips either. You know, like it's just all over the place. So, I mean, I guess it's a trader's market with the thing. I don't trade crypto, but I own Ethereum. It's actually back to about where I bought it. I think I bought around $2,300. So I've been all over the place with this. It was up 20%, down 20%, back to even. So all in the course of about a week. So it's wild. I mean, this is what crypto world is about. So I don't know. Not a crypto show. I'm not a crypto trader.
Stop.
People keep yelling at me on Twitter. Oh, you got to talk crypto more. We talk it a little bit. We touch it a little bit, but I'm going to talk what I know about. You know, you don't want to hear me talk crypto. I don't know anything about. It's apparently bringing down, the cost of it. They're trying to bring down the energy that Ethereum uses. I read a few articles on it, but I'm not an expert on it. I just, from what I've read, from people, guests we've had on the show, I feel like it's a speculative bet. So I put a speculative bet on Ethereum. That's it.
to what you said, Dennis, about you gotta adjust the price for your coffee. There is a festival in this annual festival in New Hampshire that has been accepting Bitcoin as payment as far back as like 5 or 6 years ago. And I listened to a story about this like years back, and that was happening. All right, they were like using Bitcoin as a form of payment, and people were like in line to buy like a hot dog, and like one guy, his hot dog was like one price, and the next guy it was like twice as much.
Yeah, you need stability to be like to buy regular stuff.
Right.
You need stability. You can
Yeah.
say, oh yeah, fiat's not stable, but it is. I mean, we aren't seeing 10% moves in the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar in a year, let alone a day. So, I mean, the currency is relatively stable. So I don't see it as a currency. I see it just as a speculative bet. It's a storied thing. It's crypto. It's like, and people like it. Some people like it. Some people hate it. It's a story. It's like Tesla. Tesla was... What's that?
I concur.
It's like Tesla. I mean, Tesla wasn't trading on fundamentals for years. It still probably isn't trading on fundamentals. It's trading on story.
Yep.
Crypto is still trading on the story. Can it eventually become something more? Are we all going to transact in crypto? I don't think so. But I think if we do get to a point, from what I've been reading and researching, I feel like Ethereum has more upside. So that's why I've switched over.
We did just get some breaking news, and
What do we got?
I want to go into that if we can. Moderna just said that its vaccine is very effective in adolescents. It met the primary endpoint. They plan to submit to the FDA in early June. This is in the study of their COVID vaccine in teenagers after receiving 2 doses of the vaccine. 100% efficacy is what.
100%? Can't do much better than that.
That's pretty good, Joel. I give them that.
This was in a study of 3,700 adolescents between 12 and 18 years old. And again, extremely effective. 100% efficacy starting after 14 days after the second dose. So,
I mean, so it's good news. I mean, we're still in, like you said, and you could go into just, the reopening trade, but you're like in Nashville this weekend, Spencer, and you're like, it's reopened.
I don't think, first of all, I'm not quite sure if it ever closed, but yes, it is fully reopened down there. 100%, basically no limitations on anything. So that was a bit of a culture shock. But hey,
I guess good news. That's what we want.
I guess if you got the vaccine, then like you got the vaccine. So yeah, I mean.
So the question is, like, and I don't know if the 2 to 12 is 2-year-olds, but but what it does do. This is the 2 to 12. It was 100% efficacy.
No, 12 to 18.
12 to 18. The 2 to 12 still in the trials.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, this is what we want. We want everybody. We want it to be effective. We want to get back to the way we were before 2020. So it's good news. I mean, this is all good news. You usually see, if we were 3-4 months ago, you'd see this huge reopening spike here, but the reopening is already, like you said, it's on its way in the U.S., at least in the U.S. So the question is, Joel, is there more gas in the tank for a lot of these reopening plays? I bought some Las Vegas Sands last week because I was like, I'm hearing the casinos are really busy already, and I think they're going to continue to be busy as more and more people get vaccinated. So I think there is money in the reopening trade, and to be honest, there's pullbacks here to be had in some of the reopening trades. I mean, Las Vegas Sands was $67. It's $55 now. Wynn Resorts is off the highs to a certain extent, 140 to 120. So, but what is concerning is that here we're all of a sudden, getting good reopening news, and we're not really seeing any response. I mean, QQQ, on these big reopening, when we're getting good data would turn around and go red. We're not seeing that at all now either. So the data, even though Moderna is moving off it, really, I don't see much impact on the market here today.
I mean, it's good news. I was, discussing with Lisa, and the reopening. She's very happy about it. I guess the next wave, like if we're going to have another surge, they're expecting it to be in kids and teens and adolescents. So this is good news. It's good news all around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So as far as I don't know. As far as some of these reopening trades. First, let's look at Moderna. And you're right, it got the pop. And I was going to tell our traders out there, just keep an eye on 170. It snuck over there. You have a daily high just under 170 at one. That's actually 69.28. So if you're looking for more on this, man, get over that 170, hold 170, and then, work your way into this big red bar. So pick your number between 170 and 180, but already getting a little bit of fade. As far as the reopening
Well,
trades,
just stick with Moderna though. Like, what's the next catalyst for Moderna here?
I don't
So
know.
what we always want, remember I said this, you always want, the stock always wants something to look forward to. What's it looking forward to on Moderna? Maybe it's looking forward to these good results. They are good results. What's it looking forward to now? I mean, I look at this and I just think, here's a stock that has went from $18 to $168, up 1,000% off of COVID. Well, we're getting past COVID. So do they have other stuff cooking there? Is there non-COVID drugs cooking there?
They do. They have other vaccines, right?
Are they all COVID? Is this all COVID stuff?
No. It's remember, it's like the same technology, but it's not just COVID.
Okay.
Right? They've got an HIV vaccine in the works. They've got Epstein-Barr virus. They've got they do have a heart failure drug that's in a phase 2 trial right now. So it's not like this. It's not like this is their only drug in the pipeline. Like, they have other stuff, but
this is what the driver has been, though, and the driver is, we're starting to get past it. So I think you're taking profits on Moderna into the pops. I mean, Novavax, look what it has come off. It was $300, $148. Moderna's still near the highs. So I don't know why Moderna hasn't sold off much compared to what Novavax has sold off. Maybe because they have other stuff in the pipe, like you're saying, Spencer. But if I'm in Moderna, I'm ringing the register on this. Maybe it's going to go up more, short term, but I just think longer term, I think there is, it's up 1,000%. There's been a lot of good news priced in. They've done a fantastic job, deserves to be up. But if you're coming in it now, I don't think it's like, it's going to 300, 400, 500 because of the COVID shots, and they're going to have boosters and stuff. I mean, sure, you're going to have boosters, but I mean, that's what's going to continue to drive that cash flow. But, but is that really a driver going forward? I don't know. So in my opinion, this is a rally to sell.
And also, and I'm gonna throw out, the activity today and what they have in the pipeline. But when I look at a monthly chart like this, and I see that 1, 2, and 4 of the last 5 months that it got up over 180, and it's a volatile stock, so the all-time high is actually 186.80. But I look at that whole, I'm saying to myself, man, the longer this thing doesn't get back over 180, take out that 185 high and keep going, then I'm nervous. I'd be nervous on that. When you had a monthly candle, that means there's big sellers out there. They're not out there for a day or 2 days or 3. They're out there for a week. They're out there the whole month. So I'd keep an eye on it, and we barely kissed 170 today. So just looking at that, and I'd use this month's low is way down here at 143. Volatile, needs to take out these highs, or this thing may roll over.
Next.
Let's go to Lordstown Motors. Here's the good news. If you're in Lordstown Motors, ticker RID, the good news is they are still on track to deliver cars by the end of this year. That's what they said yesterday in their earnings report. Here's the bad news. They actually, and there's a lot of it, they are cutting their guidance, their delivery guidance, by half. And they're probably going to have to raise money in some way because production costs are higher than they thought. So cutting delivery guidance by 50% and need to raise more money. Still have not actually delivered any cars. And I was saying to the guys before we hopped on here, it's a stark contrast between this and last week when Ford announced their electric F-150, and Ford, they produce cars like in their sleep. You know what I mean? This is what they do.
Yeah.
And so it's just a stark contrast, one versus the other. Obviously, we've talked about RIDE at length in the last year or so, but it's just not what it just producing cars is hard. It's hard.
It's a spec. This is a spec. This could eventually, I mean, it's only got $1 billion plus market cap. It's a small company. It's speculative. It could come back. It could do anything. Maybe this gets, a deal with another, major or something. They work a deal out, maybe, but it's a speculative play. I would say speculative capital here only. The recent rally from 6 to 11 was your classic selling opportunity. I mean, you've got a complete downtrend. A stock that's in a very, very clear downtrend and a counter trend rally. We sell counter trend rallies in stocks that are in downtrends. It works and works and works again, and a lot of times. And in this case, it looks like it was working again. 4 days ago it was $11. Now it's $8. I mean, you got some great support down here at 7. That's where it was before. That's what it needs to hold. But this is a spec. It's not, a blue chip company by any means. Yeah, they're going to produce some cars, but it's speculative capital only.
What's going to be the catalyst now? Right? I mean, when they start, to bring them out, I mean,
when they actually start producing cars, it could be a story here, Joel. It's just, there's so many of these. I mean, I just have trouble. There was like 50. I felt like, how many SPACs were EV plays?
So many.
Like 50? 40, 50? Is there 100? I mean, they're not all going to make it. Maybe RIDE is going to make it. This is one of the better names. Maybe this is going to be one that's going to make it, but they're not all going to make it. There is going to be some zeros here. RIDE could be one of them. I don't know at this point in time. I'm just saying I wouldn't put anything more than your gambling money in there, speculative capital. When I do my investing and I go into stocks like this, I throw like a little piece, like a fraction of a percent of your portfolio. That's it. Because these are ones that sometimes if they turn out can be really good, but I'm not putting, big time money into something like this because it's too much risk.
Interesting pre-market chart. And you had a step down seller right here, just pounding it. Woke up at 4 in the morning, wasn't done yet, pounded it down under $8, and then it found support at 8. Now you've popped 37 cents. So, if you're trying to play this thing on the long side, you don't want to see it take out the pre-market low at 790. I don't know. It looks like it's backing and filling a little bit. What was the top of yesterday's range? I mean, that's going to be resistance. The bottom of yesterday's range was 920, and I mentioned that number to Marcus. So, got to get back over 920, fill the gap. Looks like there's some support at 8. Dennis mentioned the area, the bunch at the lows of the move, but I've never been in these things, and I never will. And
who was it in the chat? Thank you, Hallie R. Saying talking about catalyst for Lordstown Week. So Lordstown, they announced this the other week now, last week, 2 weeks ago. They're going to do from June 21st to the 25th. It's like they're going to basically open up their factory to investors, to analysts, media, customers, basically anyone that
they're still doing that.
They're still doing that.
Okay.
And I was talking.
There you go.
Chris and I were talking about going, but my point I wanted to make. So maybe that's a catalyst.
In Ohio,
but the point. Yeah, we know. But the point I wanted to make around that is like I saw all these headlines last week or around that, like Lordstown rallies on Lordstown Week news, right? And that's hope. That's hope. Like we hope they're going to like do some and show some cool stuff at their display week, whatever. This news yesterday, that's reality, right? There's a difference between hope and reality. I hope that they're gonna like have some really cool stuff to share with the public in a month. Reality, they're gonna produce half as many cars this year as they thought they were going to. It's a different thing, and you're seeing that. Dennis just talked about the selling into the rally, and he's talking about it from like a market standpoint, the classic just fade the move
trend,
right? Downtrend, you sell pops and down when stocks are in downtrends. And I'm just saying from the other side, hope. You get lots of headlines out there. There are headlines based on hope, and there are headlines based on reality. And the ones that are reality are worth more than the ones that are based on hope. That's my point.
Boy, you've come back so philosophical, Spencer.
Thank you. Actually, do you want to hear like the one interesting thing that maybe you'll find interesting that happened over the weekend? Is I had a $450 cut of steak. Have you ever had a piece of steak that expensive?
You paid $450 for a steak?
No, I didn't say I paid for it.
Oh, you had a cut of one.
I had a cut.
No, I've never even heard of that. It must have just melted in your mouth. Was it awesome?
It dissolved, man. It dissolved in my mouth.
You have to chew it. It chews itself.
Just went right down.
Who bought the steak?
Someone that I was with.
Wow, he must be. Get him on
this is like COVID is gone because he's sharing food with people. It's sharing with random strangers food. So
It's not a random.
Did you
what Joel
steal
was
it
saying
off
the
someone's
pre-market show,
table?
Spencer, you're uninvited to everything after this Nashville trip.
Cancel my
Wagyu.
lunch in the office on Friday, folks. I
It
will
was
not be there.
Wagyu. It was Wagyu beef. It was 400.
I swear, you know, Lisa, I told Lisa that Spencer had his 30th birthday and stuff. And she goes, "Oh, really?" She goes, "Let's have him over for dinner." And then we checked the weekend and we checked another weekend. I'm like, "Oh, Spencer's going to Nashville." She's like, "Dinner's out."
Yeah. Well, you got to wait your 2-week quarantine after this.
2 weeks. I don't know.
I'm scared talking to you even over the internet here.
Oh,
I'm in
man.
lockdown here. I'm talking to somebody that just got exposed to
Yeah,
somebody else's meat.
That's a funny one from Vio Noob in the chat. Actually, it was a regular cut of steak. Inflation is insane right now, guys.
That was a regular cut of steak. That's what it costs for a steak.
don't
now
even
when you go to
know.
a restaurant, Joel. It's $500. Holy.
Holy moly.
All right.
That's like a
that's
Costco
why
trip
crypto
for me.
goes up.
Lisa gets pretty mad. We had a $120 Costco thing, and she's like, "Don't spend a lot of money." So I spent like $300, and I'm like, "I only spent $300." She goes, "You had a $120 coupon. You spent $420." All right, let's go. Move on. Stop.
Right, we'll bring
Stop.
it back. Chinese internet or education stocks are rallying here this morning. I don't know if it's just a rally into or a reaction from that news from, I guess it was yesterday or maybe over the weekend, that they're exploring some potential new regulation into the space. But you look at like TAL, you look at EDU, you look at GSXU, GOTU. They're all popping this morning, which I thought was interesting.
All these stocks have been absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
So EDU, yeah, I mean, you got a dead cat bounce is what you got here. And what did I say? You sell stocks that are bouncing that are in clear downtrend.
They already
EDU.
yeah.
What are the other ones?
I had them written down here. EDU,
TAL.
TAL. You've got GOTU. Those are kind of
these things are just absolutely epic disasters. I mean, we got a market that's at all-time highs, and these things are just can't stop going down.
more.
So I don't know. I don't want to own anything that looks like that, especially when they're as they bottomed. Can you get pops? Yeah, these things can pop 20-30% because they're down so much. Like a pop on EDU from it was $16 a week and a half ago, so pop back down up to 12. That's a nice 25-30% move, but there's gonna be a lot of sellers trying to get back up there too. Bag holder central,
yep,
probably same story as I was talking with RIDE, selling the rips on stocks that are in clear downtrends.
You know what? They must all have a curriculum on how to make electronic vehicles or something.
All right,
not a good one.
All right,
give me the thumbs down on that one. That wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't a good one when I was thinking of it. I still said it anyways.
What about catch-up trades? Let me take over for a bit. What about like catch-up trades with like growth names? Because I don't want to talk
preaching.
I don't want to talk to Chinese education stocks. So, but we've been talking about that I went neutral on Kathy a couple weeks ago. We've been talking about growth. We've been talking about growth names starting to show a lot of life, and it continues. This growth trade continues. A lot of people are laughing. The Unity software, I'm up like 10-12% on that thing in a week and a half now. Anything that I was buying, the AMD,
Roblox,
RBLX, I liked. I never bought that one, and that was the buy. RBLX was the buy. What a rip yesterday. Kramer giving it love on Mad Money again last night.
I knew there was something.
But this is just this is one that really never sold off much when they were hammering growth, and it was one of the newer ones. You kind of knew this if the growth starts turning around, this one's probably going to lead the charge. I said on the show multiple times I liked it. I never did buy it. I wish I would have. But anything that I've bought growth, and probably anything that you've bought growth in the last week, is doing pretty well. So I don't know if that trade continues or not, but is there a potential catch-up trade on some of these growth names that haven't rallied? I mean, look at Airbnb. Like, it's just sitting here, and I'm not saying the valuation's that attractive yet, but I'm just saying as a trade, at least it stopped going down. The relative strength is not great because some of the growth names have really went, but maybe you can see this as a reopening trade too, to a certain extent. But if it could get above 140, it gets interesting. I mean, Penn Gaming, I was waiting at DraftKings, both of those. I'm like, when are they going to go? When are they going to go? Finally, yesterday, DraftKings goes and Penn goes. So I'm like looking through last night trying to say, well, what hasn't gone in growth? What hasn't, had, that is still sitting near the lows? Because a lot of the growth names are up 10 to 15% the last week. Airbnb is sitting here doing nothing. So I kind of like the setup in this one. Leaning on the lows, again, doing the same thing. Leaning on the lows of the move. 129.71 would be the low of the move. So you got to risk a little bit at 137, but you got a 136, 135. Stop yourself out there. There's a potential that some of these could bounce back a little bit if money continues to go into growth.
Triple D, he went with the 140 because he's just he just looks at that chart and he sees 140. I'm looking at 142 and a quarter, 33. That's a double top. So I think you really get people. I think you really get people. It really opens up. Wow, this is pretty technical. Double top there, then it opens up into another double top at like 44.50. So you're still a few bucks away from that, but there, you got an area. It hasn't had much of a retracement of the move. It hasn't taken out it was wild off the IPO. It hasn't taken out the IPO low. Someone mentioned coin, and boy, oh boy, Goldman Sachs didn't do much of that thing yesterday, Dennis. I was surprised. I thought this would get a little bit of life. And
this Bitcoin, though, I mean, it's trading off of, it's so heavily correlated to Bitcoin that even though you get an upgrade from GS, I actually was looking, should I buy this on this GS upgrade? But I mean, it's so linked to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts selling off, it's hard to go and buy Coinbase. So until Bitcoin really sustains a rally, like you said, Bitcoin's not holding rallies. Well, coincidentally, coin is not holding rallies either. So, I mean, if Bitcoin starts to turn around, all of these Riot, Mara, Coin, they're all going to start turning around there too. You're seeing a little bit of a dip in them this morning. Not so much Coin, but Mara and Riot. Mara's trading down a little bit here. And Riot's down a little bit because Bitcoin's down a little bit. But is there a play on some of these for a trade? Maybe you could get, you got to stop yourself out at the lows. Again, have yourself an out. Don't come in here and then you buy a Mara at 22 and then it goes down and takes out the support at 20. And then you're holding at 18, you're holding at 16, you're holding at 14, you become a bag holder. Don't let that happen. If you're coming in a trade and you're calling it a trade, just come in, have your level, say, this is where I'm going to stop myself out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But make sure you have your out set up ahead of time, especially on a Mara and Riot. Even Coin, same thing. You're trying them. They're near the lows. You got a little double bottom to lean on. 223, 224. I don't mind the setup. I actually don't mind the setup in Coin here right now.
208.
You got to stop yourself out at 223 though. If you're wrong.
I was gonna say Coin also. It was Goldman yesterday, JP Morgan today, with an overweight rating.
The analysts are getting behind it. It needs the Bitcoin to turn around. Bitcoin has a good day. You're going to see Coin rip like $20 in one day, and everybody's going like, "Whoa, what happened?" Bitcoin just needs to, this is leading. Bitcoin still leads COIN. But just looking technically here, this is okay. I mean, this stock's in a clear downtrend, so it's still ugly. And, we're selling rips. But, I mean, we've been seeing some rips in some of the growth names. This one hasn't ripped yet. So, and it's Bitcoin holding it down. So it's got the potential to go. I don't mind the setup. If you're buying at 227, stop yourself up below 223.
Musk was beaten up on Bitcoin, I think, discussing with miners or something how to, I don't know. I saw some tweets or something along that. But no, you need that. Definitely need that. Dennis mentioned the low of the move there. Pair of lows right at the 224 area. Low of the move 208, but not much of a bounce. S&P's hanging in here. We're still above yesterday's high. Not a lot of action. Still up 12 3/4 handles at 42.0650.
It was a good day for the markets yesterday.
It was a great day.
It held on. We went up there. We went through resistance. SPY has been so resilient through the whole thing. That's why when we were talking bearish, we never really got bearish SPY because it never really came off the lows. Now you're coming into major resistance, though. This whole, 420 to 422. You see if you can make new all-time highs, 422.74. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because there are some people who are stuck there. But, I mean, you start making new all-time highs again, you don't want to be short stocks.
All right.
Everybody's quiet now.
No, I'm here. Sorry. Let's talk about, we had a couple earnings here. And then
AutoZone.
And then I want to do some ratings. Actually, before I do that, I missed you guys. I didn't get a chance to talk about the Nvidia stock split. You talked about that, I'd presume.
Oh yeah,
and it's still running. Nvidia's been a buy ever since they announced the split. I think it's like 3 or 4 days ago, and we have just been straight up ever since. It's got the pre-split run going right now, similar to what Tesla's doing. Obviously, the Qs are helping it out as well. The Qs look similar, but Nvidia is going up more than the Qs every single day. So we're now getting close to all-time highs here in Nvidia, which is unbelievable considering that we were 100 points off 3 days ago. So we got all the losses back for the last month in 3 days, all because of them announcing the split. So let's see what it does to the all-time high. It looks like you're going to challenge it, 648. You're not far away. It looks like in a day or two you could hit it. Can it go through there? I never like to be shorts the stocks before they split because they do these run-ups into the split. Do we have a date yet?
Oh,
It's June something.
I don't know.
They did announce a date? I haven't seen it.
I thought
You could be right. I never looked for it.
Pending shareholder approval on June 3rd. So that's when they're going to vote on it, and then I don't know if there's
after that.
Oh, it does say actually July 20th is when they will.
So a long time yet.
Yeah, is when it'll go into effect. So.
It's been a big run. If you're coming in now for the split, you're coming in late. I mean, just ride $100 off of it. So I'd wait for a pullback now. Get back to 600. Gets interesting again.
Bill Big D caught it going through 610 yesterday.
Nice
there was nothing. I mean, what's there above 610? I will just alert our traders / investors that I don't know if this was an earnings day or whatever it was, but when it pulled back, you got a gap up to 634.61 and you hit 635. So little interest there at 635, and then you got only 2 daily highs to contend with. 646.63 all-time high, and also the 53 bill going proposed to the semiconductor. I mean, that just lit the whole sector on fire. Intel had a great day. Did Intel get an upgrade or something today? Because this is up. It's up 1.14%. Let me
Chips
see.
are just having a good day today.
Yeah, chips are having a good, way more than the S&Ps. I don't know how much the Qs are up, but all that, I mean, AMAT, after anybody that sold that after earnings, they're regretting that. As we mentioned in the video, another beast is LRCX. That caught a boost from it too.
Yeah.
So just, look at all the, wow. If this thing gets up, wow, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that, a quintuplet high? And they're not that close. Oh, yeah, they are. Between 666 and 669, I see 5 highs in a row. So keep an eye on that if we get up there over the next few days.
All right. As I was saying before, I got distracted with Nvidia. AutoZone at earnings this morning. I guess the stock split got me thinking about that because it's such a high-priced stock.
Yeah.
Why don't they?
EPS beat $26.50 versus a $20 estimate. Sales beat 3.7 versus $3.2 billion. Same-store sales in the U.S. up 29% year over year. They talked about their do-it-yourself business. Everyone is buying stuff to fix things, and that was
It's as good as it gets. Home Depot trade all over again. I'd sell a rally.
Yeah, look at all those tops at 15, 42, 43. Got to get up. Well, see if we can get there today.
I think you're going to fade. We already have faded off the highs here. It doesn't
That's
trade
a
much.
weird-
It trades
yeah,
odd
I
lots
hate
all over the
that
place because it's a
stock.
$1,400 stock.
Yeah, they should.
I would
Why
not be
don't they
surprised
split
if this
their
goes red,
stock?
though. I think you're going to eventually challenge the 1,400.
Why
So
not?
I'm a
split the
seller.
stock? I don't understand.
Just
Split
my
the
opinion.
stock.
I'm a seller. Yeah, I don't like the high price stock either. It's hard to trade. Next.
well, maybe now that's 3 or 4 major splits in the last 8 months. Maybe now they all start doing it. I don't know. That's what we were saying before. What about on the earnings calendar? We had actually, I think that's pretty much it. Just AutoZone. We had a couple more, but nothing too much. Toll Brothers after the close today. Zscaler after the close today. Nordstrom's after the close today. So we do have a couple tonight, but not much.
Nvidia is the big one tomorrow. We've
That's
already
tomorrow.
talked Nvidia. We also have Snow, CRM, Costco, just going through what we've got this week. So we've got a few names. Like there's not a ton of names, but there's some big names on there. So
Yeah.
you had a tech note from Stiefel. They initiate a bunch of tech stocks.
actually,
So you were saying, we should do
talk-
ratings. There were some big ratings today.
Well, let's just do one, and then I want to bring on our guest, and we'll go back to it after our guest. But let's just look at Shake Shack here, okay?
Wow.
Two upgrades, right?
Wow.
Today,
Wow.
two
The
Wedbush,
double upgrade trick.
Wedbush and Goldman Sachs both going to buy or the equivalent of buy this morning on Shack.
Well, it's come off. You know what? I don't mind this upgrade here. I like it when the analysts aren't just chasing price. They're actually making bold calls and going contrarian. And here was a setup. I never looked at the stock chart for a while, but you stop going down. And obviously we got hit, stop going down. Now it gets a catalyst, where it gets a couple of upgrades here. So let's see how it responds to that. I'm not chasing something up 6%, but if it back and fills a little bit, gives you a shot, maybe 86, 87, then it gets interesting again. Shack's got room though, really. I mean, it's still in a downtrend, but overall, we've consolidated, and that's what you like. You want to make a bet when we're in consolidation station. Obviously, Goldman's taking us out of consolidation station here today, but if you're placing your bets yesterday and when this train was at the station, you're pretty happy right now.
See what happens at 91.09 to 91.14. Pair of highs right there. And then you have the high that was probably after earnings up at 95, 98. We get real interesting into the gap here, but still haven't taken out the pair of highs from May 10th and 11th, just above 91. So that's a level to keep an eye on.
All right, let's bring on our next guest here. We got a new one, and I'm excited here. Trevor Neal. This man has seen it all and done it all. He was a trader on the floor of the London International Futures and Options Exchange back in the 70s. The life, exactly. He was the head of technical analysis at Bloomberg. He is the founder of RRG Research, and he's technical analyst at the Beta Group. Trevor Neal. Good morning. Well, in your case, good afternoon. Welcome to Pre-Market Prep. Trevor, can you hear me? Oh, we had this problem before. Trevor, turn your speakers on.
Can you hear me all right now?
Yes, yeah. Excellent.
Yes. Okay. Great.
How are we doing today, Trevor?
Very good. Very good over here in London.
Excellent. Excellent. So let's just start with, I just sort of mentioned your background there a little bit, but as I said, you've sort of seen it all. Can you tell us a little bit about sort of like your background?
Well, one thing when you've seen it all is you have not seen it all, because you continue to be surprised.
Okay.
So there's definitely more to come, but I've seen a lot. I would say that. Yes, I've been around for a long time. I started in the business when I was 18. My very first job was with Merrill Lynch as a floor trader on the coffee exchange in London. I spent first 10 years trading soft commodities there. Then I moved into fund management, particularly systematic fund management as a technical analyst. And I then moved to working with a bank. And then I'm skipping through many decades in a short period of time here. I went back to the floor of Life. That's the London International Financial Futures Exchange, as a local there. And then I was offered a job as head of technical analysis at Bloomberg, a job I enjoyed a lot. And I worked there for a number of years, but I missed the markets a lot, and I thought it was time to have one more go. So this was back in 2003, when it was relatively easy to form a hedge fund and raise the capital for it. And we did that. I moved to Cape Town in South Africa. We operated from there. Much of the seeding money had come from a big insurance company there. And I sold out of that to my partners in 2006. Which I'm sure you can realize, if you're selling out of a hedge fund, was a good time to sell out of a hedge fund. And so for once in my life, I did sell at the highs. I returned to the UK, operate now a smaller hedge fund, which is also systematically driven, quantitatively driven. And I also do teaching of technical analysis, but only with institutional clients.
So what are your favorite kind of charts? What are your indicators? What are your formations? Are you candlestick guy, bar chart? What do you like to use?
What I've done is that I've made a rule-based method of what I would do if I was disciplined, systematic, and I could look at hundreds of securities in a very short period of time. But what I do, or what the computer does, is really do what I would be doing anyway. So it's looking at the MACD, the weekly MACD, for example, to get the direction of the trends, look at the ADX to look at the strength of the trend. These are all very familiar things. Looking for weak dips, which are defined in a particular way in a strong trend, and then looking to rejoin a bull move, which is already underway. So I'm looking to participate in the impulse moves in an established trend.
What is the shortest time frame you'll look at?
For me personally, I use daily charts, and my typical holding period is around about a month. Because I trade systematically, and I've been trading the same way since 2006, I've amassed a huge amount of data on my own performance, and so I can answer these questions quite specifically. My normal holding period is about a month, and my Profit to loss ratio is 6 losses for every profit. Every profit, though, is on average about 3.5 times the loss. So I can go on and on about the characteristics of it, but that's real time walking forward results of history. So I choose that period because it's a period I like. I've been a day trader. It's very, very hard to be a day trader. You have to be very precise. It's very difficult to be a successful day trader. I'm not the type of person that wants to be an investor, long-term trader. I like to trade, and so this is a period which I like. And daily charts suits my lifestyle.
Baby, you said?
Once a day.
Daily.
Oh, daily. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, Triple D.
No, I was just going to say, you sound very disciplined. 6 losses to every winner. This is probably opposite to a lot of other traders we listen out there. I love this because it sounds like you cut your losers very quickly if you're having those numbers of losses. Talk about, your discipline process.
Yes, the discipline is is absolute because I just follow the computer. And the computer is designed to do what I would do anyway. Quite often I don't agree with the computer, but actually that is what I should do. And I've learned over the years that what I should do is follow the computer because I've monitored where I thought I could improve on the computer, and I've found that I don't really improve on the computer. Best to just do what the computer says. And I think that is a very important thing, to be disciplined. I think it's a problem that a lot of traders have, and a lot of new traders have, is they probably know what to do, but they haven't got the discipline to do it.
Trevor, explain to us a little bit about this relative rotation research you've done.
Yes.
So that's your proprietary system, right?
Yes, I would like to share a screen with you, if I may.
I had it up. I had it up, but I just lost it. So go back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, let's see if we can get the actual screen up, and if not, I can share it on my end. But because we talk a lot about rotation. Right.
Yes. Okay. A very good friend of mine of more than 30 years. We've never actually worked together, but we've been both in the same business. He originally, 30 years ago, was on the sell side, a broker, institutional broker. I was on the buy side of the business. And he developed, his name is Julius de Campenar, a method of visualizing relative rotation, which I'll explain to you what that is in a moment, to solve a problem for people who have portfolios. The problem is answering the question, what works best, or what would I be better in? So I've been listening to your show here, and you've gone through, good stocks and interesting ones, and ones that are pertinent. And I mean, everybody has that problem of going through that. But which is best is a difficult question to answer. And if you think about it mathematically, in order to answer which is best, you have to compare everyone with everyone. And that's thousands of combinations of charts. So what Julius developed, and he and I are directors of RRG Research, Relative Rotation Graphs Research, is a way of visualizing one chart, complex relationships of data. Now, hopefully I can show it to you in a second.
Yeah, we're sharing the wrong screen though. So if you could just bring up the screen with the charts, and I'll be able to.
Okay.
Yep. But it's like a technical way of visualizing what we talk about, which is rotation from one asset or one factor to another factor.
Yes, that's correct. So I'm trying to do the share again, and can you see it now?
Let's see. We're seeing your whole desktop though, so let's go ahead and share the specific.
I know. Sorry, that's my fault.
And then
Let me
we can
do this
bring it up
again quickly.
I want to see, and I want you to walk us through some charts and sort of tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see it now? The relative rotation graph.
Yeah.
Quadrant?
All right. Explain this guy.
Okay. So this is what Julius developed, and we've worked with together. The reason I think this might be interesting for you is this is available on Bloomberg Terminal. It's available on the Icon, Refinitiv Icon terminal, various professional terminals, and it's very popular with fund managers who've got to make decisions of what is best. Now here, this one here is looking at the GICS level 1 sectors of the S&P. The S&P is in the middle, and it is, as you can see, a scattergram. The two quadrants are moving right of 100. Everything to the right of that and furthest to the right is outperforming the S&P 500. So at the moment, energy is furthest to the right, and then financial sector is next furthest, and then closer to here, and then over here is the utilities, which is underperforming. But the second part of it is the vertical axis here, which is the momentum of the relative performance. So this is, if you like, things that are strong but getting stronger are in this quadrant here. Things that are strong, they're outperforming it, but getting weaker on a relative basis are in this quadrant here. The horrible place you don't want to be is underperforming with negative relative performance. And maybe if you're an aggressive investor, things which are currently out of favor, underperforming, but coming up in terms of positive relative momentum. So think of it like a list of performance, best performance, worst performance. But that list is dynamic. Things moving up it and moving up faster through it are probably coming to the top. And just to show you how this has moved, this is going back in time now. Every dot here this is last week, the week before, the week before. And you can see the rotation. So if you look at energy here, and if we go back to the end of last month, at the end of the year, the beginning of the year, here you can see energy, which was out of favor, but was coming up fast on that top left-hand quadrant up there, and then crossed over, and then has been outperforming. And then now, as we move to currently, it's still outperforming, but it's losing its relative momentum of outperformance. So the direction, a good direction is northeast, because that north means it's increasing relative momentum, and east means increasing momentum. And so simply you can see, and you could populate this with the S&P 500 stocks and put the S&P in the middle. You can populate this however you want, or we could take the energy sector and put it in the middle, take the industries or even the individual stocks in it to show it.
Okay, so one thing, I guess I didn't realize that at first, but I do now. So that big dot, that's your leader. So like that's the most recent week or period, whatever.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Got it. Okay. So
this is the picture right now.
Okay. So we can see materials, energy going to the bottom left. We can see utilities, healthcare going in the right direction.
Yes.
Got it.
And if there's such a small line like the bottom one there, that just means that they just haven't been on the radar, or they haven't made it up into the relative performance continuum, like that one right there. What's that one right there?
This one here is consumer discretionary. Yes, well, what it means, because it's near the middle, is it's correlating with the index.
Okay.
And so it's moving with the index. So if you want to generate alpha, if you want to generate capital gain, you want things which are away from the index.
Got it.
Moving with the index.
Got it. So
by the index.
So that's how you use this, and you look for what's away from the center.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
And if I may be able to attempt to change screens, I'd like to show you how we implement this. What was happening was that we were using. Let me go back now to here and here. We were working with institutions, developing their portfolios, people managing the constituents of the portfolio, visualizing in this way, see if anything they've got that they shouldn't have. So we're working a lot with institutions, Bloomberg users and Icon users. So we were very pleased that we've had the opportunity of doing it for ourselves, if you like. And we've created, with a company called CMC, which is a UK broker, instruments here to apply a set of quantitative rules for that idea. And then we build portfolios around that. So they're very focused portfolios to use the momentum aspect of relative strength. So you can imagine that things which are, if you've got the index and you've got the things with the highest positive outperformance momentum in it, and only have those in a very concentrated way, we only buy 10 stocks. So in the S&P, we buy 10 stocks only. Each of these are the ones that we've got so far, but we're going to have more in the future. So if I can show you this here, if we look at the S&P, for example, here in the last month, it only came on actually a month ago. We did the first one was a UK one. So in the last 30 days, we're up about just above positive on the S&P, and our portfolio of 10 stocks is up 4%. So we've got some outperformance in that. How we do it is we take the S&P. The first test is only stocks which are going up, so we use a technical measure for that. Then we have of that set of stocks, I can tell you at the moment there's 270, I think, according to our criteria, nearly half going up. Any ones where the RRG is moving in the between 0 and 90 degrees, so moving northeast in direction, and then we take the ones which are furthest to the right, the strongest, the top 10 of those, and that is the portfolio which we then rebalance. And we only rebalance every quarter because there is strong persistency in that. Strong stocks remain strong stocks for a long period of time. Apple was great for a long time. And so we can afford we know that it's actually detrimental to rebalance too frequently.
Before we let you go, Trevor, you spent some time on the floor. We always get a floor story out of our floor traders. It doesn't have to be a personal one, but I don't know, big winners, big losers, big out trades. Is there something you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, I've got many stories, many war stories. I can tell you. Some of them I probably shouldn't tell you.
Tell us one of those.
Those are the ones you want. But I've got a newspaper cutting. My boss and I were featured. This is back in the late 1970s. It was the headline in the newspaper here was "London Socks It to New York." And it was because on the Chicago Mercantile, they passed a rule that on the floor you had to wear socks. Okay. Now, to us Englishmen, the idea of not wearing socks is a pretty strange thing. I know it's a hot place, but even then you have to wear socks. And I was photographed because I was considered one of the best dressed traders. And what that meant was I wore a very sharp, stripy suit.
Okay. All right.
Wait, Joel. When you were at the market, you had to wear socks, right?
We did, yeah. And we had to wear a tie. I mean, yeah, we had to wear a tie with the cloth jackets, but everyone just used to like crumple up the same tie, keep it in their coat. But all right, that's a good one, Trevor. Great information. I've never looked at things like that. You kind of put together what we talk about a lot. We appreciate you coming on. We're going to get you back on again for sure.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Pleasure to meet you all.
All right.
Have a great day.
Trevor Neal is the founder of RRG Research, technical analyst at the Beta Group. His charts can be found on the Bloomberg Terminal, on the Thomson Reuters platform, and also on stock charts, as our chat has duly noted. Great stuff there from Trevor. We appreciate him coming on. That was fantastic visualization of what we talk about on our show all the time. Let's go back and do a couple more ratings, and then we'll go some twos and ticker time from the chat. We mentioned Shake Shack. I want to mention Domino's, which is also catching a rating today. That was downgraded. Yes, downgraded at Goldman Sachs to neutral. Gave it a price target of $450. So for whatever that's worth, I mean, we're at 417 now. So
yeah, I don't know.
It
already hit 450. Yeah. Down 390. You got a seller out there. I can't find a buyer yet. Losing 420 is bad. So if you get a pop up to there, that'd be your resistance. I don't know. A lot of air in this thing, Triple D. Maybe you can find support between 400 and 420. I see one little low there at 415.74, but looks wide open to me.
Dennis, you're on mute.
Yeah, just go next stock. We'll give that one to Joel. Sorry, I didn't know I was on mute.
Oh, all right. Moving them right along then. Canopy Growth also catching a rating today. Oh, I just had it up on the screen there. Upgrade at MKM to buy, and it's up this morning.
I like the pot stocks here. They have just not moved. So I've been saying I'm looking for like stocks, growth stocks that haven't moved yet. CGC is one of them. I like this upgrade here. I don't like chasing, but this is stock that could see $25 sooner than later. So I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's sleepy. Strike if you want.
Yeah,
Low
you're
of
in
the
the
move.
consolidation station. So, I mean, stopping yourself out at the lows of the move. Again, have your out defined. We just heard from Trevor, very disciplined. That is the key to long-term success. Trevor, very successful in this market for a long time because he takes those losers.
Yeah, that was a great insight that he shared. 6, what did he say? Was it 6 losers for every winner?
Yeah.
I think that's what he said. But that one winner is a big one, and those losers are small. That was fantastic.
That's what you want. That's what you want. Small losers, big winners. I have lots of losers. I have losers every single day. A lot of them today. You can tell in the background. I'm like in damage control here.
Okay. I wondered.
Joel even texted me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm in damage control. I have a lot of patches on." But this is what it is. You got to work out of the every single day. If you got a lot of positions on, you're gonna have winners and losers. You got to work out of the ones that are you're on the wrong side of. I just caught on the wrong side of news on a lot of stuff today. It's one of those days.
All right, we'll do some ticker time here. We'll take questions from our chat, drop them in. We'll try to hit as many of them as we can in the next few minutes. I saw somebody dropped Baba in there, which I wanted to hit on because China was up overnight. I don't know if it still is up. Now, if you look at the XFI, yeah, it's up. I mean, Baba.
Baba.
You got setups in all these, though, Joel. You're not far off the lows. So stop yourself out the low of the move at 204. I'm long Baba. I only have I don't have the extra trading position on it. I kind of almost want to put it on for a trade, just for extra. I know these are all in downtrends, but what we've been seeing, the reason I'm going counter trend on a lot of this stuff, and a lot of people, let a real technical traders be like, "Wow, these are still on downtrends." But I try to catch it before that. I'm a shorter term trader. I'm trying to catch the moves. I've been identifying money rotating into growth for the last week. Now money rotates into China overnight. We see the FXI catching a bid. So I'm looking, how can I limit my risk? Well, I'm going to limit it by leaning on the lows of the move. So Baba low of the move is 204. It's 211. It's in a clear downtrend, which isn't good news. But the good news is that money has been rotating back into some tech names, and maybe there's a catch-up trade here. So I don't mind it. Again, you got to have your out. Stop yourself at the low of the move.
Yeah, Baba, just hanging out down here near the former low of the move. I think that was earnings day. I think Kathy sold on that day too. So what you're leaning on is 204.39, May 13th low.
Going back to the chat here. What
selling balances out there, Dennis? You seen anything? I'm sorry.
Why? Because we're leaking a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. I thought maybe
it's pretty small. I don't see anything really jumping out at me.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
What about Grubhub? I full disclosure, I don't know why Grubhub is up this morning. But it is up this morning. BRUB.
Isn't Grubhub getting taken over by the European companies? Is that still on the table?
Takeaway. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's probably related to that. It's probably like one of these headlines like merger is still on the table or talks ongoing or something like that.
I haven't been trading much at Grubhub because the European aspect of it now, where you've got the European company taking over, and I can't track that stock because it's over in Europe. So I kind of just now removed myself from trading Grub because that deal was on the table. I mean, if the deal falls off the table, I'll add Grub back into my circle of trading. But when I can't follow the leader, it's hard to follow because obviously it was getting taken over by a European company. I believe that was the headline, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm like, why isn't still, like, I don't know. I can't even remember the details to this now because it was so long ago. But
I don't know.
Anyways, if it's getting taken over still in chat, maybe you can help me with that. If it's not, let me know because I'll start trading it again. But I thought this was getting taken over. So
I don't remember the.
It's tough to trade something technically when it's got M&A action on the table. So that's why I like charts and all that. It's difficult. You're looking at an individual stock that's being led by something else. So that's why I haven't been trading it.
All right. What about MLM, Martin Marietta?
We got love from Jim Cramer last night. Material stocks have had a hell of a rally here. Again, I don't know if the time to come in here and buy the materials is now, though. We've rallied from $150 up to $366. It's been a relentless rally. We know inflation has driven a lot of prices of material stocks for the last 6 months. I just feel like it's time to book profits in all these names.
You want to definitely see it hold 358 resistance up here at 370, getting into the gap. And hey, Spencer, did you see who's delivering for Grubhub now?
Dan Gockich.
Yeah, because he lost a lot of money gambling.
Yeah.
Sports trivia, sports information, but
let's do like one or two more. Neo had a
Neo
day yesterday. What they announced a manufacturing deal, right?
Let's see. Just hanging out here. It looks like you got seller at 36.50. Yesterday's high was right there too. So I don't know. Get above 36.50. Looks like got a little room.
Lean on yesterday's low, 33. I
Yeah.
wouldn't go down to the low of the move. If I was long, I'd lean on yesterday's low, 33.56. Look how, I'm just keep focusing on discipline here today.
Yep.
Discipline day. This market, you have to be disciplined in. We don't have like this clear run and bull market and everything. I'm buying some of these setups here. I'm buying in counter trends. So you got to really be disciplined because you're going against the grain. I mean, when you're buying a stock chart that looks like this, you're going against it. Easy in the chat saying Pablo's not a good setup. Agree, it's in a downtrend. So, it's about your time frame here, though. I mean, you still want to be a seller of rips more so in stocks and downtrends. The reason I'm kind of straying from that to a certain extent is it's been working so far on some of the growth names. So I always just try to identify. I'm a relationship-based trader, remember, not just a technical. I'm seeing the relationships. I'm seeing money has been moving into growth for 10 days now. That's more than just a day or two blip. So I think on pullbacks here, money continues to rotate. So I'm looking for stocks, growth stocks that haven't went yet. That's why Penn worked yesterday because it hadn't went yet. DraftKings worked yesterday because it hadn't went yet. There could be some catch-up trades that could work on some of these. So that's why I'm looking counter trend right now on some of these growth names.
All right, Dennis, Joel, I'll let you go, guys. It was good to be back. Good to see you. I was, not able to listen for a couple of days, so I missed your dulcet tones. But good to be back, and have a good rest of your day, both of you. Well,
when's the next vacation?
Well, this weekend, but it's a holiday.
Not even joking.
It's a holiday, man.
He's been cooped up for that year, and he's going on vacation every weekend since he got the Johnson & Johnson one shot. I get my vaccination June 1st. I'm scheduled here now, so maybe I'll be able to do kind of some of this stuff too.
So by that clock, you're out for like the month of July. Is what you're
probably
saying?
Yeah. I'm just going to be doing just going everywhere.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. I'll see you later. Joel.
All right. I'll stick around, cover some of these stocks for you guys. I jotted them down. Give me time. It takes me a while to look and type. Everyone, see you at 3:30.
All right. A couple of housekeeping items. Well, Joel just left there, but all right. Housekeeping items. Reminder that we are in the midst of our 100,000 subscriber giveaway. You could win a free share of Tesla. Yes, it's true. All you gotta do is click on the link that I'm putting in the comments section in chat. That's what I did just there. Link is in chat. Link is also in the description of this video. And if you're wondering what the YouTube code is to give more entries, it is SLIMERAZ, SLIME, Raz, RAZ. SLIMERAZ is the code for YouTube, but click on that link, enter the contest. The way it's working is when we cross the 100,000 subscriber threshold, which should be in the next week or so, we will be ending the contest then and giving away a free share. Also, within the span of the contest, I think the contest is set to run for like another 2 weeks or so. If within that span we get to 105,000 subscribers, we're also going to give away a very nice Shinola watch, but don't tell Jason that. I don't know if he knows that yet, but it's going to happen. So anyway, give us a subscribe on YouTube. While you're at it, drop us a like on this video, on any video. We appreciate all the likes. How many likes are we at today? We're at 338. That's pretty low. Come on. I missed you guys. Come on. Drop me a like if you missed me. If you did not miss me, then like the fact that I was gone for a couple of days there. How about that? Don't forget, Benzinga Pro is Benzinga's real-time news and research platform. To get a free 2-week trial, go to pro.benzinga.com. If you want more than that and you want a discount, you can enter the promo code YouTube20, YOUTUBE 20. That'll get you 20% off any Benzinga Pro subscription. Again, pro.benzinga.com. Link is up on the screen. If you're just not hearing me, you can just see it there. YouTube 20 pro.benzinga.com. I appreciate all of the people who randomly emailed me over the weekend saying happy birthday. I guess Jason said it was my birthday on Friday. It was a week late, but that's okay. I appreciate the birthday wishes and all of the comments in chat. Yeah, we didn't even get to talk about Amazon today, Sumit. I apologize. It was on my list, but yeah, they're going to buy MGM Studios. Would have liked to get to that. We'll cover that on the At the Close show. I know there are some more stuff we didn't get to. I'm sorry. That's kind of how it works. But okay. Likes, subscribes, contest, Tesla giveaway. I think that was all I had to say. I missed you guys. I hope you missed me. We got David Green coming up at 9:25 or so to do some live trading into the open. We've got SPACs Attack today. We got the Power Hour. They're going to have the CFO of Chegg, Andrew Brown, on the show at noon Eastern today. Get technicals after that, the BZ Crypto Show. We got Biotech Buzz. And so what you should do, guys, if for example, if you have like a crypto question, like a Bitcoin question, like you can ask Joel and Dennis and you can get their takes, but really what you should do is just save those questions for our crypto. We have two crypto shows. We have a crypto show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We got Moon or Bust, which is Mondays and Wednesdays. They talk about a lot of altcoins on that show, and we got the crypto show, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and they just talk about news in the crypto space. If you have a crypto question, save it for those guys because they're much more informed than we are on this show. And same thing with like biotech, right? If you have a question about a biotech stock, you can ask our take, but we're not going to know anything about the fundamentals. If you save it for Biotech Buzz, which is at 2:30, ask Vivi. She probably knows the story better. I mean, she definitely knows the story better than we do. So that's kind of like what we're going for here is like different shows about different things. So if you ask a question and we don't give you a great answer, I'm sorry. But there's a chance we have another show that specializes in that. So crypto at 2:00, Biotech Buzz at 2:30. Joel and I will be back at 3:30 for the At the Close show. We got Cannabis Insider after the close at 4:30. After hours, Ryan Rose-Biani at 5. And that's the plan for today. So with that being said, everybody have a good rest of your day. This stream is set to redirect to David Green. You shouldn't have to do anything to watch that link or watch that stream. It'll go directly to there when he goes live at 9:25. Give or take. Actually, I'm staying corrected. The stream will not redirect because producer AB did not make his stream yet. And that's what happens when you don't make streams ahead of time. So next stream starting up here in about 15 or so minutes. And that'll be that. I'll see you later on in the day for various streams, various shows. Dave not on today. See, guys, this is what happens. I leave. I'm out. And I don't know anything. I'm flying blind. I had to get in extra early to just figure out what was going on in markets for the last couple of days because I had no idea. So see, you guys know more than I. So I appreciate the help there. All right, but I'm gonna hop off and get to. I have 1,000 emails I have to go delete. So I'm going to go do that. Everyone have a good, it all falls apart without me. No, I'm sure it was fine. I mean, I didn't listen because I was, an hour behind and sleeping, but I'll go back and listen to the last couple shows. I'm sure they were fine, guys. But I appreciate the sentiment. I'm here now, back. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Good luck at the open, and I'll see you later on throughout the day.